Let me tell you a profound truth that will change your life forever. The power that you seek, the power to manifest even the impossible, lies dormant within you at this very moment. You are that power. You are the operant power. You are God in the most profound sense, temporarily occupying a garment of flesh. I say to you now, for just 1 minute, one single minute of your time, you can set in motion forces so magnificent that they will reshape your entire world. For consciousness is the only reality. And in that 1 minute of focused consciousness, you can plant a seed that must by divine law come to harvest. Tonight I share with you not theory, but law, immutable, unchangeable law. The law states that your consciousness, your feeling, your assumption is the only reality. What you feel as true, what you accept as real in that 1 minute of focused attention, becomes the blueprint that the whole vast world must follow. Consider this. When you go to sleep tonight, enter into that 1 minute with complete surrender to your desire fulfilled. Feel it as real. Feel it as present. Feel it as now. For the feeling is the secret. And that 1 minute of reality of your desire is more powerful than 1,000 minutes of yearning or wanting. Let me share with you what I mean. Suppose you desire wealth beyond measure. In that 1 minute, you must feel the weight of that wealth, the satisfaction of that abundance, the joy of that prosperity as if it were already yours. You must enter into the state of the wish, fulfilled so completely that when you open your eyes, the outer world seems pale in comparison to what you have just experienced. The outer world, you see, is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. But in that one sacred minute, you have the power to change every assumption, to rewrite every belief, to transform every aspect of your life. The whole vast world will reshape itself to match your new assumption, for this is law. I tell you, time is nothing to your subconscious mind. What you impress upon it in that 1 minute of focused feeling will work day and night to externalize itself in your world. This is why Scripture tells us, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall all be changed. That moment is the moment of assumption. You need not concern yourself with the how. The how is not your part in this divine drama. Your role is simply to occupy the state of consciousness of the wish fulfilled for that 1 minute with such intensity, such conviction, that you can say with absolute certainty, it is done. I remember a lady who came to me in dire circumstances. She had not a penny to her name, and creditors were at her door. I told her to take 1 minute, just 1 minute, before sleep and feel the joy, the relief, the absolute knowing of having more than enough. She did this faithfully, and within weeks, through channels she could never have imagined, abundance flowed into her life from every direction. You see, the outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. It has no choice in the matter. Just as the fruit must grow from the seed, your outer world must grow from the seed of your assumption. And that seed, planted in 1 minute of focused feeling, contains within it all that is necessary for its own fulfillment. Let me tell you something of profound importance. When you enter into that 1 minute of consciousness, you must do so with the knowledge that you are entering the most holy of holies. You are entering into the very source of creation itself. For your consciousness, your I am, is God Himself, and there is no other power to create or to destroy. Think of it this way. If you were to witness a miracle this very moment, what would you feel? How would your body respond? What thoughts would flow through your mind? That is exactly how you must feel in your 1 minute of focused consciousness. You must feel the naturalness, the reality, the absolute certainty of your desire fulfilled. The reason most people fail in their manifestations is that they treat their imaginal acts as something unreal, something separate from themselves. But I tell you now, your imaginal acts are more real than the world of Caesar, for they are the very substance from which all reality springs. In that 1 minute, you must abandon yourself completely to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you desire perfect health, feel the freedom and vitality in every cell of your body. If you desire a specific position, feel the satisfaction and responsibility of that position. If you desire a particular relationship, feel the love and connection as if it were already yours. The secret lies in the intensity of your feeling, the completeness of your absorption in the state desired. For feeling is the secret. And in that 1 minute of focused feeling, you are literally molding the substance of the universe according to your desire. Remember the words of Scripture, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." This transformation takes place in consciousness first, and that 1 minute of transformation in consciousness will work its magic until the outer world reflects perfectly what you have impressed upon your subconscious mind. Do not make the mistake of thinking that 1 minute is too short a time to manifest the impossible. Time is only a concept of the outer world. In the realm of consciousness, in the realm of the subconscious mind, 1 minute of complete absorption in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is equal to an eternity. Let me tell you what most of humanity has forgotten. In your imagination, which is your own wonderful human consciousness, you can in 1 minute live an entire lifetime. You can compress time to such a degree that 1,000 years become as 1 day in your consciousness. This is the mystery that the ancient mystics knew. When I tell you to take 1 minute, I am speaking of a minute pregnant with infinite possibility. For in that minute, when properly used, you transcend all limitations of time and space. You enter into the eternal now where all things are possible and all realities exist simultaneously. Consider this: every moment of your life you are manifesting. Every single moment you are creating through your assumptions. But most of these moments are spent unconsciously accepting the limitations of your current reality. What I am giving you now is the secret of conscious creation, deliberate manifestation through that one focused minute. Let me share with you an absolute principle. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation. Not the wish, not the want, not the desire, but the feeling of already having what you desire. In that 1 minute, you must generate this feeling with such intensity that it crowds out all other thoughts and feelings. When you close your eyes tonight, when you enter into that 1 minute of focused consciousness, you must feel with every fiber of your being that you are now the person you desire to be. You must feel the reality of it so intensely that when you open your eyes, the physical world seems like the dream. And what you have just experienced in imagination seems like the reality. I tell you, and I tell you with absolute certainty, that your three-dimensional world is nothing more than the outpicturing of your assumptions. The whole vast world is yourself pushed out. Therefore, in that 1 minute, you are literally rearranging the entire universe according to your assumption. What would you feel like if you were now the person you desire to be? What would you experience? How would your friends address you? What conversations would you have? These are not idle questions. They are the very substance of creation. For in that 1 minute, as you feel these things as real, you are creating them in the only place they can be created, in consciousness. Remember the words I share with you now. Your consciousness is God. Your I am is the creator of all that appears in your world. Therefore, when you enter into that 1 minute of focused feeling, you are entering into the very creative substance of the universe. You are entering into God Himself. I have tested this law countless times, and I tell you now it never fails. A lady once came to me in tears, her child desperately ill. I told her to take 1 minute before sleep and feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude of seeing her child in perfect health. She did this faithfully, and within days her child made a recovery that the doctors could not explain. You see, the outer world has no choice but to conform to your inner assumptions. This is law. Just as an apple seed must produce an apple tree, your assumption must produce its physical equivalent. And in that 1 minute of focused feeling, you are planting the seed that must come to harvest. Let me tell you of the power that lies within that 1 minute. When you enter into it, you must do so with the knowledge that you are entering into the most sacred of activities. You are literally exercising your divine right as a created being. You are doing the work that you were created to do. Do not make the mistake of thinking that this is mere positive thinking or autosuggestion. What I am giving you is the very principle of creation itself. It is the same principle that created the stars and the planets, that maintains the order of the universe. It is the principle that Scripture refers to when it says, "Let there be light." In that 1 minute, you must let there be that which you desire to experience. You must feel it with such completion, such totality, that you can say with absolute conviction, it is finished. But when you can feel this, when you can experience this with your whole being, the thing is done. And all the forces of the universe move to bring about its physical manifestation. Think of it this way. Everything you now accept as real was once only imagined. Your current circumstances, your present relationships, your existing conditions, all were first imagined before they became fact. Therefore, in that 1 minute, you are engaging in the most natural and most powerful of all human activities, the act of conscious creation through imagination. I tell you now, with absolute authority, that if you understand and apply what I am sharing with you in this moment, nothing will be impossible for you. For the one who knows how to use that single minute of consciousness holds within their hands the key to all creation. Consider the words of Scripture before they call, I will answer. This is not some distant God responding to prayer. This is the law of consciousness in operation. When you enter that 1 minute with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you have already created it. The answer precedes the call, because in consciousness where all creation takes place, you have already received. Let me share with you a profound truth that few understand. In your imagination, there is no limitation of time or space. You can traverse 1,000,000 years in a single second of consciousness. You can experience the end before the beginning. This is why that 1 minute properly used can reshape your entire existence. When you lie down tonight, when you enter into that sacred minute of communion with your own wonderful human imagination, you must do so with the knowledge that you are entering the realm of cause. The three-dimensional world you see around you is merely effect. It must, by eternal law, conform to what you establish in consciousness. I tell you now, do not waste that minute wondering how your desire will be fulfilled. The how is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled with such intensity, such conviction that you can feel the naturalness of it. Feel the solidity of it. Feel the reality of it. Imagine if you desire perfect health. In that 1 minute, you must feel the vitality coursing through your veins. Feel the strength in your limbs. Feel the perfect functioning of every organ, every cell. Feel the joy of moving with complete freedom and vigor. Feel the naturalness of perfect health so completely that you cannot remember what it felt like to be otherwise. If it is wealth you desire, in that 1 minute you must feel the abundance surrounding you. Feel the security of substantial wealth. Feel the freedom it brings. Feel the joy of helping others. Feel the naturalness of having more than enough. Feel it so completely that you cannot remember what lack feels like. You see, your subconscious mind knows no difference between what you imagine with feeling and what you experience in the outer world. To your subconscious mind, they are one and the same. Therefore, what you impress upon it in that focused minute of consciousness must externalize itself in your world. Let me tell you of a principle that never fails. The intensity of your feeling determines the speed of its manifestation. When you enter that 1 minute of focused consciousness, you must abandon yourself completely to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Let no doubt enter. Let no contrary thought disturb your assumption. Remember this, your consciousness is the only reality. Everything you now consider real was first only imagined. The chair you sit on, the clothes you wear, the building you live in, all were first only imagined before they became fact. Therefore, what you imagine with feeling in that 1 minute is as real as anything you now consider real. I share with you now a secret of manifestation that few understand. When you enter that 1 minute of consciousness, you must do so from the end. Live in the end. Experience the completion, the fulfillment, the attainment of your desire. For when you experience the end in consciousness, all the steps necessary for its achievement must unfold naturally. Think of it this way. If you were to receive news right now that your desire had been fulfilled, what would you feel? How would your body respond? What thoughts would flow through your mind? That is exactly how you must feel in your 1 minute of focused consciousness. You must generate those exact feelings, those exact sensations. Do not make the mistake of thinking that this is merely daydreaming or fantasizing. What I am giving you is the very principle by which the universe operates. It is the principle of assumption, and it never fails. What you assume to be true, what you feel to be real in consciousness, must externalize itself in your world. Let me share with you a profound truth that will revolutionize your understanding of manifestation. In that 1 minute of focused consciousness, you are literally rearranging the entire universe. For consciousness is the only reality, and what you establish there must by eternal law manifest in your world. I tell you from my own experience, time after time, that this law is as exact as mathematics. Just as 2 plus 2 must equal 4, what you feel as real in consciousness must externalize itself in your world. This is not theory, this is law, and it operates with mathematical precision. When you enter into that 1 minute tonight, you must do so with the knowledge that you are entering into the very substance of creation. Your consciousness, your I am, is God himself in operation. Therefore, whatever you accept as true in that state of consciousness has no choice but to externalize itself. Consider this: every moment of your life, you are manifesting. Every single thought accompanied by feeling is creating your future. But when you take that 1 minute and consciously direct it, when you deliberately assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are exercising your divine creative power at its highest level. Let me tell you of something remarkable about your imagination. In it, there is no such thing as impossibility. In that 1 minute of focused consciousness, you can be, do, or have anything you desire. The limitations of time, space, and circumstance do not exist in imagination. They are only beliefs we accept in our outer world. When you lie down tonight, when you enter into that sacred minute of communion with your own wonderful human imagination, you must feel with every fiber of your being that your desire is already fulfilled. Feel the joy of it. Feel the reality of it. Feel the naturalness of it. If you desire a particular position or achievement, in that 1 minute you must feel the satisfaction of already having achieved it. Feel the respect it brings. Feel the responsibility it carries. Feel the natural pride in your accomplishment. Feel it so completely that you cannot remember what it felt like to desire it. You see, the secret lies in the feeling. Feeling is the secret. It is not enough to merely visualize or think about your desire. You must feel it as real. You must generate the feeling that would be yours if your desire were already a fact in the outer world. Let me tell you something about the nature of consciousness that few understand. Your consciousness is not confined to your physical body. It extends throughout the universe. Therefore, when you assume a state in consciousness, you are literally rearranging the entire universe to match your assumption. I share with you now a principle that has transformed countless lives. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation. Not the wishing, not the hoping, not the wanting, but the feeling of already having what you desire. This is the secret that all the great ones of history have known. Remember this: your outer world is nothing more than your inner world objectified. Everything you now see and experience was first only imagined. Therefore, what you feel as real in that 1 minute of focused consciousness must by law become real in your outer world. Think of the power that lies within that 1 minute. In it, you can transcend all limitations. In it, you can rewrite your entire life story. In it, you can plant a seed that must, by divine law, come to harvest. For consciousness is the only reality, and what you establish there is more real than anything in the outer world. Do not let anyone tell you that this is mere positive thinking or wishful dreaming. What I am giving you is the very principle by which the universe operates. It is the same principle that keeps the stars in their courses, that maintains the order of creation. It is the principle of conscious assumption. Let me tell you the final and most crucial truth about this 1 minute that can transform your entire existence. When you feel the reality of desire so intensely that your whole being vibrates with its truth, you have planted a seed in the fertile soil of infinite possibility that must come to harvest. Do you know why most people fail in their manifestations? They treat their imaginal acts as something unreal, something separate from life itself. But I tell you now, your imaginal acts in that 1 minute are more real than the world you see around you, for they are the very substance from which all reality springs. Think of this: every invention, every discovery, every achievement in human history began in someone's imagination. Everything that now exists in your world was once only imagined. Therefore, what you imagine with feeling in that 1 minute has a divine right to manifest, for this is the way of creation itself. I tell you with absolute certainty that if you will faithfully apply this law, if you will enter into that 1 minute each night feeling the reality of your desire fulfilled, your whole world must reshape itself to match your assumption. This is not hope. This is law. Remember these final words I share with you now. You are not some tiny being struggling against the world. You are the operant power. You are the creator of your reality. That 1 minute of focused consciousness properly used contains within it the power to reshape universes. Tonight, when you enter into that 1 minute, do so with the knowledge that you are entering into the most holy of holies. Feel the reality of your desire with such intensity that when you open your eyes, the physical world seems pale in comparison to what you have just experienced. For in that 1 minute, properly used, even the impossible must yield to your assumption. The whole vast world will conspire to make your assumption a reality, for this is the eternal law of consciousness. What you feel as real in consciousness must externalize itself in your world. I leave you with this final truth. The power is within you. The kingdom is within you. That 1 minute of focused consciousness, used with understanding and feeling, is more powerful than 1,000 years of toil. For in that minute, you are exercising your divine right as a creative being. Go forth now with this knowledge. Apply this law. Test it. Prove it in the laboratory of your own life. For I tell you, with absolute authority, that even impossible will manifest for you when you understand and apply the power of that 1 minute of focused consciousness. Let this be your practice from this moment forward. Enter that 1 minute with complete faith, with absolute conviction, with the feeling of your desire fulfilled. For when you do this, you are doing the work you were created to do. You are consciously creating your reality through the power of your own wonderful human imagination. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. Therefore, in that 1 minute, you are literally rearranging the entire universe according to your assumption. There is no power outside of you that can withstand what you establish in consciousness. For consciousness is the only reality, and you are that consciousness. And now, knowing this truth, understanding this law, go forth and create the life you desire. For you hold within you, in that 1 minute of focused consciousness, the power to manifest even the impossible. This is the truth. This is the law. This is your divine inheritance. The end is where we begin. The completion is where we start. Therefore, enter into that 1 minute from the end, living in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. For when you do this, you are operating in accordance with the highest law of creation, and nothing can prevent your assumption from becoming your reality. So I say to you, finally, take this minute. Use it wisely. Fill it with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and watch as the whole vastness self reshapes itself to match what you have established in consciousness. For this is the way of creation. This is the law of assumption. And this is your power as a divine creative being. What it truly means when we say, everyone lives on the surface, it may appear to be a statement of abandonment, of loss of inevitable solitude. But I tell you, it is a statement of profound truth about the nature of our reality and our journey through this world. You see, in this world of Caesar, in this realm of shadows and reflections, people come and go. Relationships form and dissolve. Even the most steadfast companions will, at some point, depart, if not through choice, then through the natural course of life and death. This is the way of the world we perceive with our physical senses. But I am here to remind you of a greater truth. You are never truly alone, for you are one with the divine, with the creative power of the universe, with what I often refer to as your wonderful human imagination. This is the God within you, and it is ever present, all powerful, and the true source of all that you experience in your world. When we say everyone leaves, we are acknowledging the transient nature of our external experiences. We are recognizing that all things in this world of Caesar are temporary, fleeting. But in this recognition, we open ourselves to a profound realization. The only constant in your life is you, not the you of flesh and bone, but the divine you, the I am that is your true self. This I am is the God within you. It is the creative power that shapes your reality. It is the awareness that observes your thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and it is the only thing that truly never leaves you. Everything else, every person, every circumstance, every material possession is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. Now, you might be thinking, but Neville, this sounds isolating. Are you saying we should push everyone away? No, my dear friends, that is not what I'm suggesting at all. Instead, I'm inviting you to shift your perspective, to realize that your true power, your true essence, lies within you and not in the external world. When you understand this, when you truly grasp that you are one with the divine creative power of the universe, you will never feel alone again. You will realize that you have within you everything you need to not just survive, but to thrive, to create, to manifest the life of your dreams. Let me share with you a simple truth that has transformed countless lives. Your imagination is the God within you. It is the creative power through which all things are possible. When you learn to harness this power, when you learn to live from the end, to experience in your imagination the reality you desire, you become the master of your own destiny. You see, the world around you, with all its people and circumstances, is nothing more than a mirror reflecting back to you your own inner state. When you change within, the reflection must change without. This is the law, and it is immutable. So when we speak of learning to survive alone, what we're really talking about is learning to tap into the infinite power within you. It's about realizing that you are the operant power in your world. You are the one who decides what your experience will be, regardless of external circumstances. Now, let's delve deeper into this concept of being alone. In the world of Caesar, being alone often carries negative connotations. We're told that humans are social creatures, that we need others to thrive. And while it's true that relationships and connections can enrich our lives, it's crucial to understand that true fulfillment, true peace, true power comes from within. When you learn to be comfortable in your own company, when you learn to rely on your own inner resources, you become invincible. No external circumstance can shake you because you know that you carry within you the power to change any situation, to create any reality you desire. This is what it means to truly survive alone. It means to stand firm in the knowledge of who you really are, a divine being, one with God, possessing infinite creative power. It means to live from that state of awareness, to operate in the world from that unshakable foundation. But how do we achieve this state? How do we come to this realization and begin to live from it? The answer, my friends, lies in the practice of what I call the law. This law is simple yet profound. Imagine the reality you desire, feel it as real, and it must come to pass in your external world. You see, your imagination is not some fanciful, idle daydreaming. It is the very workshop of creation. When you imagine, you are engaging the God within you. You are exercising your divine creative power. And when you couple that imagination with feeling, when you feel the reality of what you've imagined, you set in motion the forces that will bring that imagined reality into your physical experience. This is how you not only survive but thrive when everyone leaves. You realize that you never needed anyone else to complete you, to fulfill you, to make you whole. You always had within you everything you needed. The people in your life, the relationships, the connections, these are all wonderful expressions of your inner state, reflections of your consciousness. But they are not the source of your happiness, your success, your fulfillment. You are the source. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Imagine a young woman who has just gone through a difficult breakup. In the world of Caesar, she might feel lost, alone, incomplete. She might believe that her happiness walked out the door with her former partner. But if this young woman understands the law, if she grasped the truth of her own divine nature, she would see the situation very differently. Instead of focusing on the loss, on the absence, she would turn within. She would use her imagination to create the reality she desires. Perhaps she imagines herself confident, joyful, and fulfilled. Perhaps she feels the reality of being in a loving, supportive relationship. Or perhaps she imagines herself thriving in her career, surrounded by friends, living a life of purpose and passion. The key is this: whatever she imagines and feels as real must by law be reflected in her external reality. This is not wishful thinking or positive affirmations. This is the operation of cosmic law. This is the creative power of God, the human imagination at work. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't this selfish? Shouldn't we be focusing on others, on building relationships and connections? And to this, I say, There is no greater service you can offer to the world than to realize your own divine nature, to manifest your highest self, to live from the state of the person you wish to be. You see, when you do this, when you live from the end, from the state of your wish fulfilled, you automatically uplift everyone around you. You become a living example of what's possible. Your very being becomes an inspiration, a beacon of light in the world. Moreover, when you understand that everyone in your world is you pushed out, a reflection of your own consciousness, you realize that by changing yourself, by living from your higher state, you are quite literally changing the world. You are improving every relationship, every interaction, every circumstance in your life. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of learning to survive alone. It's not about isolation or self-sufficiency in the worldly sense. It's about realizing your oneness with God, your true identity as the operant power in your world. It's about understanding that everything you seek, love, success, fulfillment, peace, is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. Let's explore this concept further through the lens of various life situations. Consider the realm of career and success. Many people believe that their success depends on external factors, on knowing the right people, on being in the right place at the right point, on having the right qualifications or background. But I tell you, true success comes from within. When you imagine yourself successful, when you feel the reality of being the person you wish to be in your career, you align yourself with that state. You begin to think, speak, and act from that state of success. And inevitably, the outer world must reorganize itself to match your inner assumption. I've seen this principle at work countless times. I remember a young man who came to one of my lectures. He was struggling in his career, feeling stuck and unappreciated. I advised him to imagine himself in the position he desired, to feel the satisfaction and confidence of being successful in his field. At first he was skeptical, but never he said, I don't have the experience or the connections. How can simply imagining make a difference? I told him to persist in his imaginal act, to make it so real that he could taste it, feel it, live it in his mind. Weeks later, he returned with a beaming smile. Not only had he been promoted to the very position he had imagined, but opportunities he had never even considered had begun to flow into his life. You see, when he changed his inner state, when he began to live from the end in his imagination, the outer world had no choice but to conform to his new self-concept. This, my friends, is the power you hold within you. This is how you thrive when it seems like everyone has left. When the outer world seems unsupportive or even hostile to hope, you turn within, you imagine the reality you desire, and you live from that state. Now let's turn our attention to the realm of relationships, for this is often where the fear of being alone is most keenly felt. Many of you may have experienced the pain of loss, the ache of heartbreak, the fear of abandonment. And in those moments, it can feel as though a vital part of you has been torn away. But I am here to remind you of a profound truth. No one can complete you because you are already complete. You are whole, perfect, and complete in your divine nature. The love you seek, the companionship you desire, these are all within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. When you understand this, when you live from this truth, you free yourself from the desperate need for others to fill a perceived void in your life. You become magnetic, attracting into your life people and relationships that reflect your inner state of wholeness and love. Let me share with you the story of a dear friend who grasped this truth and transformed her life. She had been through a series of unfulfilling relationships, each ending in heartbreak and disappointment. She came to me feeling depleted, wondering if she was destined to be alone forever. I asked her a simple question. Who would you be if you were in the perfect relationship? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? I encouraged her to imagine herself as that person, to feel the joy, the confidence, the love that she would feel in her ideal relationship. At first, she found it challenging. The pain of her past experiences kept intruding on her imaginal scene. But I urged her to persist, to make her imaginal act more real than her memories of past disappointments. Gradually, she began to feel a shift. She noticed that she was becoming more confident, more joyful, more at peace with herself. She no longer felt the desperate need to be in a relationship. And then something remarkable happened. Not only did she begin to attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships into her life, but she realized that she had fallen in love with herself. She had discovered the wellspring of love within her own being. She understood, perhaps for the first time, that she was complete in herself. This, my dear friends, is the liberating truth I want you to grasp tonight. When you realize that you are complete in yourself, when you tap into the infinite love and power within you, you free yourself from the fear of being alone. You learn not just to survive, but to thrive in any circumstance. Now, let's address another aspect of our topic, the fear of death. For in the world of Caesar, death represents the ultimate leaving, the final solitude. Many live in fear of this moment, seeing it as the end of everything, the ultimate separation. But I tell you, death is but a transition, a shift in consciousness. When you understand your true nature as a spiritual being, as one with God, you realize death holds no power over you. Your true self, your I am, is eternal and unchanging. In fact, I encourage you to practice dying daily. By this, I mean to die to your old concept of self, to let go of limiting beliefs and negative self-images. Each night as you go to sleep, imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. Then, as you awake each morning, carry that new self-concept with you into your day. This practice of dying daily to your old self and being reborn to your ideal self is the key to personal transformation. It is how you survive and thrive in a world where everything is constantly changing, where people come and go, where nothing in the world of Caesar is permanent. Remember, my friends, that your true home is not in this world of shadows and reflections. Your true home is in the realm of imagination, in the kingdom of God within you. When you live from this awareness, you are never truly alone, never truly abandoned, never truly at the mercy of external circumstances. Let's now turn our attention to the practical application of these principles in your daily life. How do you begin to live from this state of divine awareness? How do you tap into the God within you and create the life you desire? The first step is to still your mind, to quiet the incessant chatter of your physical senses and your rational mind. This is why I often emphasize the importance of meditation and contemplation. Find time each day to sit in silence to turn your attention inward. As you sit in silence, bring to mind the reality you wish to experience. See it clearly in your mind's eye, but don't stop at mere visualization. Engage all your senses. If you're imagining a successful career, feel the satisfaction of achievement. Hear the congratulations of your colleagues. Feel the weight of responsibility and the thrill of new challenges. If you're imagining a loving relationship, feel the warmth of your partner's embrace. Hear the words of love and support. Feel the deep sense of connection and understanding. Whatever you're imagining, make it as real and as vivid as possible. And here's the crucial part. Feel the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the sense of accomplishment, as if what you're imagining is already your reality. This feeling, this emotion, is the secret to effective manifestation. For you see, the subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, doesn't distinguish between what you're experiencing in your physical reality and what you're experiencing vividly in your imagination. When you feel the reality of your imagined state, you impress that reality upon your subconscious mind, and it begins to work tirelessly to bring that reality into your physical experience. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, I've tried this, and it didn't work. I imagined what I wanted, but nothing changed to this. I say persistence is key. You must return to your imaginal scene night after night, impressing it upon your subconscious mind until it feels more real to you than your current physical reality. Remember, you are undoing years, perhaps decades of negative thinking and limiting beliefs. You are reversing the momentum of your old thought patterns. This takes time and consistent effort. But I assure you, if you persist, if you remain faithful to your imaginal act, it must bear fruit in your physical reality. Moreover, you must learn to live from the state of your wish fulfilled. This means aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the person you are imagining yourself to be. If you're imagining financial abundance, start treating yourself as if you are already wealthy. If you're imagining a loving relationship, start treating yourself and others with the love and respect you envision in your ideal relationship. This is what I mean when I speak of living from the end. You don't wait for your outer world to change before you change your inner state. You change your inner state, and your outer world must follow suit. Now let's address a common concern that arises when we speak of creating our own reality. Many worry, if I'm creating my reality, does that mean I'm to blame for all the negative things in my life? And to this I say, let go of the concepts of blame and fault. These are limiting beliefs that keep you trapped in a cycle of guilt and self-recrimination. Instead, embrace the empowering truth that if you can imagine it, you can create it. Your past thoughts and beliefs may have contributed to your current circumstances, but your future is determined by your present thoughts and beliefs. You have the power right now, in this very moment, to begin creating the life you desire. This understanding is particularly powerful when it comes to healing from past hurts and traumas. Many of you may have experienced abandonment, betrayal, or loss. These experiences can leave deep scars, making it difficult to trust, to open your heart, to believe in the possibility of love and connection. But I tell you, no matter what you've experienced in the past, you have the power to heal. You have the power to rewrite your story, to create a new narrative for your life. And it all begins in your imagination. Imagine yourself healed, whole, and complete. Feel the peace that comes with forgiveness, the joy that comes with self-love, the confidence that comes with knowing your own worth. Live from this state and watch as your outer world begins to reflect your inner healing. Remember, everyone who has ever hurt you, everyone who has ever left you, was simply playing a role in the story you were telling. As you change your story, as you revise your concept of self, the characters in your life will either change to match your new narrative or they will exit stage left, making room for new characters who align with your new self-concept. This is the true meaning of learning to survive alone. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your life story. You are the creator of your reality. You have within you everything you need to create the life you desire. Now, let's talk about the concept of revision, a powerful technique that can help you reshape your past and consequently your present and future. Revision is not about denying what happened, but about reinterpreting events in a way that empowers you and aligns with your desired reality. For instance, if you've experienced a painful breakup, instead of replaying the hurt and betrayal in your mind you have seen, imagine the relationship ending amicably, with both parties wishing each other well. Feel the peace and closure that comes with this revised scenario. Or if you've lost a job, instead of dwelling on the feelings of rejection and failure, revise the scene. Imagine your former employer congratulating you on moving on to bigger, better opportunities. Feel the excitement and optimism of new beginnings. By revising past events in your imagination, you're not changing what physically happened, but you are changing your emotional response to those events. And since your emotional state is what creates your reality, this revision can have a profound impact on your present and future experiences. This practice of revision is particularly powerful when it comes to healing feelings of abandonment or betrayal. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of others' actions, you begin to see yourself as the powerful creator of your own experience. You realize that no one can truly abandon you because you are never alone. You are always one with the divine, with the God within you. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be feeling as you hear these words. You might be thinking, Neville, this all sounds wonderful, but it feels selfish. Shouldn't we be focusing on helping others, on making the world a better place? To this I say, there is no greater service you can offer to the world than to realize your own divine nature and to live a nature. When you tap into the God within you, when you begin to create consciously and deliberately, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your very being uplifts those around you. Moreover, when you understand that everyone and everything in your world is you pushed out, a reflection of your own consciousness, you realize that by changing yourself, you are changing the world. As you cultivate love, peace, and abundance within yourself, you naturally extend these qualities to everyone in your world. This is the true meaning of being your brother's keeper. It's not about trying to change others or fix their problems. It's about embodying the change you wish to see in the world. It's about living from the state of the person you wish to be. And in doing so, inspiring others to recognize their own divine nature. Let me share with you a powerful practice that can help you embody this understanding. Each night, before you go to sleep, I want you to imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. See yourself living the life you desire, embodying the qualities you admire. But don't stop there. As you imagine this ideal version of yourself, extend that same love, success, and fulfillment to everyone in your world. See everyone around you thriving, joyful, and fulfilled. Feel the happiness that comes from knowing that as you prosper, so does everyone in your world. This practice not only accelerates your own manifestation process, but also cultivates a deep sense of connection and oneness with all of life. You begin to understand experientially that there is no separation, that we are all one in consciousness. As you continue this practice, you'll find that your fear of being alone, your fear of abandonment begins to dissolve. You realize that you can never truly be alone because you are one with all of life. You are one with God, the creative power of the universe. Now let's delve deeper into the concept of states of consciousness, for this understanding is crucial to mastering the art of conscious creation. Every experience you have, every circumstance in your life, is the result of the state of consciousness you're occupying. A state is simply a mindset, a way of being. It's the sum total of your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings about yourself and the world. When you change your state, when you shift your consciousness to embody different thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, your experience must change to match your new state. This is why it's so important to mind your inner conversations, to be aware of the thoughts you're thinking and the emotions you're feeling throughout your seal. These inner conversations, these habitual thought patterns, are creating your reality. If you find yourself constantly thinking thoughts of lack, of loneliness, of abandonment, you're occupying a state that will continue to create experiences that match those thoughts. But the moment you shift your consciousness, the moment you begin to think thoughts of abundance, of connection, of divine companionship, you move into a new state, and your reality must shift to reflect this new state. This understanding is particularly powerful when it comes to dealing with the fear of being alone. You see, loneliness is a state of consciousness. It's not determined by your external circumstances, but by your inner perception of those circumstances. You can be in a room full of people and feel desperately alone if you're occupying a state of loneliness. Conversely, you can be physically alone and feel deeply connected and fulfilled if you're occupying a state of divine companionship, of oneness with God. The key then is to consciously choose the state you wish to occupy. And you do this through your imagination. By imagining yourself in the state you desire, by feeling the reality of that state, you begin to shift your consciousness. And as your consciousness shifts, your reality must follow suit. Let me give you a practical exercise to help you master this skill of state shifting. Choose a state you wish to embody. Perhaps it's confidence, or love, or success. Now, close your eyes and imagine a scene that implies you are already living from that state. Make it as vivid and as real as possible. For instance, if you're imagining the state of confidence, you might see yourself giving a powerful presentation to a room full of attentive listeners. Feel the confidence coursing through your body. Hear the applause at the end of your talk. Feel the satisfaction of knowing you've made a positive impact. Now, here's the crucial part. Carry this feeling with you throughout your day. When you interact with others, when you go about your tasks, do so from this state of confidence. Speak, think, and act as the confident person you've imagined yourself to be. At first, this might feel like you're pretending or playing a role. But I assure you, as you persist in this practice, it will become more and more natural. You'll find yourself spontaneously thinking and acting from this new state. And as you do, you'll see your outer world begin to reflect your inner state. This practice of consciously choosing and occupying states is the key to mastering your life experience. It's how you learn not just to survive, but to thrive, regardless of external circumstances. It's how you become the conscious creator of your reality. Now, I want to address a question that often arises when we discuss these principles. Many ask, Neville, if I can create my reality through my imagination, why do bad things stay? Why do I still experience loss and pain? To this I say, remember that you are in the process of awakening to your true nature as a divine creator. You are learning to use the power of your imagination consciously and deliberately. But for much of your life, you've been creating unconsciously, reacting to circumstances rather than consciously choosing your state. Moreover, you are surrounded by the thoughts and beliefs of others, by societal conditioning that often runs counter to these principles. It takes time and practice to overcome these influences and to consistently create from a place of conscious awareness. But here's the empowering truth. Even when challenging circumstances arise, you have the power to choose how you respond. You have the power to revise your experience, to find the gift in every situation, to use every experience as an opportunity for growth and expansion. This is what it means to be the operant power in your world. It doesn't mean that you'll never face challenges or that everything will always go smoothly. It means that you have the power to choose your response to every situation, to create meaning from every experience, to use every circumstance as a stepping stone to your desired reality. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder. You are never truly alone. The God within you, your own wonderful human imagination, is your constant companion, your unfailing friend, your source of infinite possibility. When you fully grasp this truth, when you live from this understanding, you free yourself from the fear of abandonment, from the anxiety of being alone. You realize that everything you seek, love, companionship, success, fulfillment, is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. So my dear friends, as you go forth from this place, I encourage you to practice living from the state of your wish fulfilled. Imagine the reality you desire. Feel it as real and persist in that feeling. Know that as you do this, you are engaging the creative power of the universe. You are activating the God within you. Remember, everyone lives in the world of Caesar, but in the world of spirit, in the kingdom of God within you, you are never alone. You are one with the source of all creation, one with the power that shapes universes. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding, and watch as your world transforms to reflect the divine being that you truly are. Thank you, and may God bless you all. I want you to listen carefully, for what I am about to share with you is of utmost importance. It is the key that unlocks the door to your wildest dreams, the bridge that spans the chasm between your current reality and the life you've always imagined. Are you ready to embark on this transformative journey? Are you prepared to witness the miraculous unfoldment of your desires? Then let us begin. First and foremost, we must understand that the world we perceive with our physical senses is but a shadow, a reflection of a greater reality that exists within us. This inner world, this realm of imagination, is the true source of all that we experience in our outer world. It is the workshop wherein we craft our destinies, the sacred space where we commune with the divine. Consider for a moment the nature of your desires. What is it that you truly want? Is it wealth beyond measure, perfect health, a loving relationship, a fulfilling career? Whatever it may be, I want you to know that it already exists within you. Yes, you heard me correctly. Everything you want, everything you've ever dreamed of, is already a part of you, waiting to be recognized, waiting to be brought forth into expression. You see, my dear friends, we live in an infinite universe of possibilities. Every conceivable state, every potential experience already exists in what I call the dimensionally larger world of which we are all a part. Your task, then, is not to create these desires anew, but to select them, to choose them from the infinite array of possibilities that surround you at every moment. But how, you may ask, do we make this selection? How do we bring forth our desires from the realm of potential into the world of actuality? The answer, my friends, lies in the power of your imagination. For it is through the faculty of imagination that we connect with the dimensionally larger world, that we tap into the infinite reservoir of all possibilities. Imagination, you see, is not some frivolous faculty meant only for children and artists. No, imagination is the very substance of reality. It is, as William Blake so eloquently put it, the real and eternal world of which this vegetable universe is but a faint shadow when you imagine. You are engaging in the highest form of creative activity. You are literally shaping the substance of your reality. Now, let us delve deeper into the mechanics of this process. When I say that everything you want is about to appear all at once, I am not speaking metaphorically. I am describing a literal truth about the nature of manifestation. You see, in the realm of imagination, in the dimensionally larger world, there is no time as we understand it in our physical experience. All possibilities exist simultaneously, eternally present in what we might call a divine now. When you imagine your desire fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not creating something new. Rather, you are selecting a state, a version of reality that already exists. You are tuning your consciousness to a particular frequency, aligning yourself with a specific possibility from the infinite array that surrounds you. This is why I often speak of the importance of living in the end. By this, I mean that you must assume the consciousness, the feeling, the inner conviction of already being or having that which you desire. For in truth, in the realm of imagination, you already are, and have everything you could ever want. Your task is simply to align your consciousness with this truth. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Instead of focusing on your current lack, on the bills that need to be paid, or the debts that weigh upon you, I urge you to assume the feeling of already being financially free. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of security that comes with having more than enough. Live from that state. Make it your new reality in imagination. As you do this, as you persist in this assumption, you will begin to notice changes in your outer world. Opportunities will arise. Unexpected sources of income will appear. Your entire financial situation will begin to shift. And here's the crucial point. These changes are not caused by your imaginal act. Rather, they are the outer manifestation, the shadow of the shift that has already occurred within you. This is what I mean when I say that everything you want is about to appear all at once. In the moment that you truly assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, in the instant that you align your consciousness with the desired state, you have already received it. The outer manifestation is simply catching up to the inner reality you have chosen. Now I can sense that some of you may be skeptical. You may be thinking, but Neville, I've tried visualization, I've tried positive thinking, and nothing has changed to this. I say, examine carefully the nature of your imaginal acts. Are you truly living from the end? Are you fully embodying the state of your wish fulfilled? Or are you simply wishing, hoping, yearning for a change? You see, there is a world of difference between mere wishing and the kind of imaginative act one I'm describing. Wishing implies lack. It reinforces the absence of your desire. But when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire. You are aligning with its reality. Moreover, you must persist in your assumption. The Bible tells us to pray without ceasing, and this is what is meant by that instruction. Your prayer is not a verbal petition to some external deity. Your prayer is the feeling, the inner conviction of already being or having that which you desire. And you must hold to this feeling, this conviction, regardless of any apparent contradictions in your outer world. This brings us to another crucial point, the importance of detachment. When I say that everything you want is about to appear all at once, I do not mean that you should anxiously await its arrival, constantly checking to see if it has manifested. Such behavior only reinforces the sense of lack, a feeling of not yet having your desire. Instead, you must cultivate a sense of calm certainty, a quiet confidence that your desire is already yours. This is what is meant by the biblical injunction to be still and know that I am God. In the stillness of your imagination, in the quiet certainty of your assumption, you are God in the act of creation. Let us explore this concept further. When you truly understand that everything you want is about to appear all at once, you will find that your entire relationship with desire changes. No longer will you be consumed by anxious longing, by the feeling of lack or want. Instead, you will experience a profound sense of fulfillment, a deep inner peace that comes from knowing that all is well, that all your desires are already realized in the realm of imagination. This shift in consciousness is transformative. It liberates you from the tyranny of external circumstances, from the ups and downs of worldly events. For when you know that everything you want is about to appear all at once, when you live from this truth, you become impervious to disappointment, immune to discouragement. Consider for a moment how this understanding might change your daily life. Imagine waking up each morning with the unshakable conviction that this day holds infinite possibilities, that everything you've ever wanted is on the verge of manifestation. How would you move through your day? How would you interact with others? How would you respond to challenges? You would, I submit, move through your day with grace and ease, with a sense of joyful anticipation. You would interact with others from a place of abundance, of generosity, knowing that your good is assured. You would face challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth, as stepping stones on the path to your desired end. This, my friends, is the true power of living from the end, of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is not merely a technique for manifesting specific desires, though it certainly can be used for that purpose. More fundamentally, it is a way of being in the world, a state of consciousness that aligns you with the creative power of the universe itself. Now, some of you may be wondering about the mechanics of this process. How, you might ask, does our inner state affect our outer reality? The answer lies in the nature of consciousness itself. You see, consciousness is the only reality. The world you perceive with your physical senses is not separate from you. It is an extension of your consciousness, a projection of your consciousness. This is why I often say that there is no such thing as an external cause. All causes are mental. Your outer world, your experiences, your circumstances are all reflections of your inner state. When you change your inner state, when you assume a new state of consciousness, your outer world must change to reflect this new inner reality. This is not magic, though it may seem magical to those who do not understand the law. It is simply the way the universe operates. It is the law of consciousness, the fundamental principle underlying all creation. And it is this law that ensures that everything you want is about to appear all at once. But let us be clear. When I say that everything is about to appear all at once, I do not necessarily mean that all your desires will manifest simultaneously in your physical reality. The timing and manner of the outer manifestation are not for you to determine. Your task is simply to maintain the inner state, to live from the end, to persist in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. The outer manifestation will take care of itself. It will unfold in perfect timing, in a way that is in harmony with the totality of your being and the greater good of all. Your job is not to manipulate external circumstances, but to maintain the inner conviction, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This brings us to another important point, the role of action in this process. Some may interpret this teaching as an invitation to passivity, as suggesting that we need not take any action in the physical world. This is a misunderstanding. Action is a vital part of the creative process. But it must be inspired action, action that flows naturally from your assumed state. When you truly live from the end, when you fully embody the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take the right actions. These actions will not feel like effort or struggle. They will feel natural, effortless, as if you are being guided by an invisible hand. This is because in a very real sense, you are being guided. By assuming the state of your wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are tapping into a wisdom that far exceeds your limited conscious mind. And this wisdom will guide you, will inspire you to take the perfect actions to bring about the manifestation of your desire. So do not worry about what you should do or how you should do it. Focus instead on maintaining the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live from that state, and the right actions will present themselves to you at the perfect time. This is the true meaning of seeking first the kingdom, of prioritizing the inner state over external actions. Now I want to address a question that often arises when I discuss these principles. Some may ask, but Neville, what about the desires of others? What if what I want conflicts with what someone else wants? This is a natural concern, but it arises from a misunderstanding of the nature of consciousness and creation. You see, in the dimensionally larger world, in the realm of pure possibility, there is no conflict. All desires can be fulfilled, all states can be realized without impinging on the desires or states of others. It is only in our limited physical perception that we experience conflict and scarcity. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you are not taking anything away from anyone else. You are simply aligning yourself with a version of reality where your desire is fulfilled. And in that reality, in that state, everyone else's desires are fulfilled as well, in a way that is in perfect harmony with the whole. This is why I often say that there is no competition in the kingdom of God. In the realm of imagination, in the dimensionally larger world, there is infinite abundance. There is more than enough for everyone. Your good does not come at the expense of another's good. In fact, as you realize your desires, as you manifest your good, you are contributing to the good of all. So do not hesitate to imagine freely, to assume the state of your wish fulfilled, regardless of how it might appear to affect others. Trust in the wisdom of the universe, in the perfect outworking of the law. Know that as you align yourself with your desires, you are aligning yourself with the highest good for all concerned. This understanding liberates you from guilt, from the fear of being selfish or greedy. It allows you to desire boldly, to imagine grandly, knowing that your good is part of the greater good, that your fulfillment contributes to the fulfillment of all. Now, let us delve even deeper into the mechanics of manifestation. When I say that everything you want is about to appear all at once, I am pointing to a fundamental truth about the nature of time and consciousness. You see, in the realm of imagination, in the dimensionally larger world, there is no time as we understand it in our physical experience. All states, all possibilities exist simultaneously in what we might call an eternal now. When you imagine your desire fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not creating something new in the future. You are selecting a state that already exists. You are tuning your consciousness to a reality that is already present in the eternal now. This is why the feeling is so crucial. The feeling is the secret, the bridge between the world of imagination and the world of physical experience. When you capture the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you embody the state of having or being what you desire, you are literally stepping into that reality. You are aligning your consciousness with the version of you who already has what you want. And here's the miraculous part. The moment you do this, the moment you truly capture that feeling and hold to it, everything begins to shift. The entire universe reconfigures itself to match your new inner state. This is not metaphor or poetic license. It is a literal description of how reality operates. Your outer world, you see, is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. As you change your inner state, as you assume a new state of consciousness, your outer world must change to reflect this new reality. It has no choice. It is simply following the law of consciousness, the fundamental principle that underlies all creation. This is why persistence is so crucial. When you first assume a new state, when you first capture the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your outer world may not immediately reflect this change. This is because there is often a time lag between the inner shift and its outer manifestation. During this period, it may seem as if nothing is happening. The temptation may be to give up, to conclude that it's not working. But this is precisely when you must hold fast to your assumption, when you must persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Remember, the outer world is catching up to your new inner reality. Everything is in motion, everything is shifting to align with your new state. But this rearrangement takes time in our physical experience. Your task is to maintain your new state, regardless of any apparent contradictions in your outer world. This is what is meant by living by faith. Faith, in this context, is not blind belief in something unseen. It is the evidence of things not seen with the physical eye, but perceived clearly with the eye of imagination. It is the unwavering conviction that what you have imagined, what you have assumed in consciousness, is already a reality. As you persist in this faith, as you hold fast to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will begin to notice changes in your outer world. At first, these changes may be subtle. You might notice small synchronicities, seemingly chance encounters or events that align with your desire. These are signs that the law is working, that the universe is responding to your new state. As you continue to persist, these changes will become more pronounced. Opportunities will arise, circumstances will shift, people will enter or exit your life, all in perfect alignment with your assumed state. And then, often when you least expect it, your desire will manifest fully in your physical reality. This is what I mean when I say that everything you want is about to appear all at once. In the moment that you truly assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, in the instant that you align your consciousness with the desired state, you have already received it. The outer manifestation is simply catching up to the inner reality you have chosen. Now I want to address a common misconception about this process. Some may interpret this teaching as suggesting that we can manipulate reality to our whim, that we can force the universe to give us whatever we want. This is a misunderstanding of the law. You see, the law of consciousness is not about imposing your will on the universe. It's about aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. It's about recognizing your oneness with the source of all creation and allowing that power to express itself through you. When you imagine your desire fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not forcing anything. You are simply choosing a state, selecting a version of reality that already exists in the dimensionally larger world. You are aligning your consciousness with a particular possibility from the infinite array that surrounds you. This alignment is not an act of force or will. It is an act of surrender, of allowing. You are surrendering your limited personal will to the greater will of your divine self, your true self, that is one with the creative power of the universe. This is why the state of relaxation is so important in this work. When you are relaxed, when you are in a state of allowing, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that surround you. You become receptive to the guidance of your higher self, to the wisdom of the universe. So as you imagine your desire fulfilled, as you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, do so with a sense of ease, of relaxation. Don't strain, don't force. Simply allow yourself to sink into the feeling, to become one with the state you desire. This state of relaxed allowance is the fertile soil in which your desires take root and grow. It is the state in which miracles occur, in which the seemingly impossible becomes possible. It is the state in which everything you want appears all at once. Now, let us consider another aspect of this principle. When I say that everything you want is about to appear all at once, I am not just referring to material desires or external circumstances. This principle applies equally to inner states, to qualities of being, to ways of experiencing the world. Perhaps what you truly want is not a specific thing or circumstance, but a state of being. Perhaps you want to experience more love, more joy, more peace in your life. The principle remains the same. Assume the feeling of being loving, joyful, peaceful. Live from that state. Embody it fully in your imagination. As you do this, as you persist in this assumption, you will find that your entire experience of life begins to shift. You will attract experiences, people, circumstances that reflect and reinforce your assumed state. You will begin to see the world through new eyes, to experience reality in a new way. This is the true power of imagination. It is not just about manifesting external things or circumstances. It is about shaping your entire experience of reality, about choosing the state of consciousness from which you live your life. And here's a profound truth. As you elevate your state of consciousness, as you align yourself with higher states of being, you naturally attract experiences that match that state. The things and circumstances you once desired may manifest, but you may find that they no longer hold the same importance for you. This is because you have aligned yourself with something greater than mere material possessions or external circumstances. You have aligned yourself with the creative power of the universe itself. You have recognized your true nature as a divine being, capable of shaping reality through the power of your imagination. This recognition, this alignment with your true self, is the ultimate goal of all desire. It is the state of consciousness in which everything you want appears all at once, because you recognize that you already are everything you could ever want to be. In this state, desire itself is transformed. No longer do you desire from a place of lack or want. Instead, your desires become expressions of your divine nature, ways of bringing more love, more joy, more beauty into the world. Your life becomes a constant act of creation, a continuous unfoldment of infinite possibilities. This, my dear friends, is the promise and the potential that lies within each of you. It is the birthright of every human being, the true purpose of our existence. We are here to recognize our divine nature, to align ourselves with the creative power of the universe, and to express that power through our imagination. As you leave here today, I urge you to carry this truth with you. Remember that everything you want is about to appear all at once, not because you are going to receive something you lack, but because you are about to recognize what you already are, what you already have. Live from this truth. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled in every moment. Persist in your assumption regardless of any apparent contradictions in your outer world. Know that you do this, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are stepping into your true identity as a divine being. And as you do this, watch in wonder as your world transforms, as everything you've ever wanted begins to appear in your experience, not as something separate from you, but as a natural expression of who you truly are. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Everything you could ever want or need already exists within you. Your task is simply to recognize this truth, to live from it, to express it in your daily life. So go forth with confidence, with joy, with the unshakable knowing that everything you want is about to appear all at once. For in truth, it already has. You simply need to open your eyes to adjust your vision, to see the miraculous reality that surrounds you at every moment. This, my friends, is the promise and the power of your imagination. This is the truth of who you are and what you are capable of. Embrace it fully, live from it completely, and watch in awe as your life becomes a living testament to the creative power that resides within you. Thank you for your attention, for your openness to these truths. May you go forth and create miracles in your life and in the world around you. For you are the miracle, you are the power, you are the divine expressing itself in human form. Everything you want is about to appear all at once because you are about to recognize that you already are everything you could ever want to be.